Okay, we want to make 2 more types of drawings, and that's going to be a drawing of a flower and the flower parts, and then a drawing of the seed and the seed parts. So first we're going to start with our flower, and we're going to use different colors here. I think I'm going to use green for drawing the female part of the flower, and I'm drawing that first, so let's see. It's going to kind of have like a thin stalk, a little expanded end up at the top, and then it's going to have a bulb-like area at the bottom. All right, so this part in green is called the pistil or the carpel. So that is the female structure of the flower. The different parts of the pistil are, well, I'll label them later, but the top is called the stigma. This little stalk here is called the style. And this large round area is called the ovary. And inside of the ovary, I'm going to draw you, this is where the seeds form. So inside of the ovary are going to be your ovules. And depending on the plant, there'll be different numbers. Sometimes they only have 2 ovules, but those ovules are the eggs, okay? So the ovules equal the number of seeds that can be produced, because the seeds are produced from the fertilization of the ovules by the sperm that's carried by the pollen. So here is our female part. Then we are going to have our, I think I'm going to do these in orange too. We're going to have our male parts, and I'm not going to draw very many, but they come from a place about right here at the bottom of that pistil, and they're going to come up. Sometimes they'll be above, but that is called a stamen, and I'm just going to draw one just so you can see what it looks like. But usually your flower, if it's a perfect flower and it has both male and female parts, your flower is going to have, multiple stamen and then multiple ovules, but only one pistil. So there's our stamen. And just to show you, the stamens fall off whenever the fruit is formed. The ovary, the ovary right here, this part and down is the ovary. When that ripens, it becomes a fruit. So what you're looking at right now is, trying to put it where you can see it. Yeah, there we go. This, of course, is a bell pepper. It's an orange bell pepper, and we generally say that this is a vegetable. I just wanted to show you on the bottom of the bell pepper that there is a little brown piece. That is the remains of the stamens. That is all that's left of the stamens. I don't know if you can see that piece or not. Yeah, you can. Okay, so that's all that's left of the stamens. And we're going to talk more about that bell pepper in a little bit. Okay, so let's make this a blue flower. The next thing is we're going to have our petals. So I'm just going to let them kind of draw themselves. I don't know what kind of flower this is. Have no idea. But those are the petals, and all of the petals together are called the corolla. And then you will have, before the flower blooms, when it is just a bud, it's going to be covered in green leaflets called sepals. So I'm just going to draw a few of those here. Okay, so those are sepals. Now we can start to label this. all of the sepals together is called the calyx. So calyx equals all the sepals. Okay, the pistil or carpel is the female part, female structure, female reproductive structure, and the stamen, which is in orange, is the male reproductive structure. And then we need to label the parts of the pistil and the stamen. Okay, so what we have here is the stamen is composed of an anther. That's the part that produces the pollen, and then the stalk there is called the filament, and that just holds it in place. For the carpel or pistil, there are 3 parts. The top part is a little bit expanded, and it's called the stigma. This is where the pollen grain will land. The little stalk area is called the style. And then, of course, this area is called the ovary. Okay, so a fruit is a ripened ovary, and then your seeds form whenever the sperm from the pollen fertilize these ovules. All right, the only other thing I want to show you before I actually do a flower dissection is I want to show you the parts of a seed, and I'm going to keep this real simple. The parts of a seed, I'm going to do like a half of a kidney bean because it's the easiest for me to draw. Oh, that should have been a little more out there. Well, we'll make that outer coat. Okay, so the seed basically has a seed coat, which is very tough, and it allows the seed to remain, it won't germinate or grow. Like my black-eyed peas, I bought them from the store dried, and I put them in water, and tomorrow, if I don't go ahead and cook them, they're going to grow little sprouts out of them, right? So what is that sprout, and where does it come from? Well, first of all, if you look real close, I'm exaggerating this, but there is a little tiny hole in the seed. So if you put it in water, the water goes in here. This is called the micropyle. Okay? The whole indention, the indention area, I guess I can do that in red. This little indention that forms, in fact, there's one in the human kidney, the organ, that is called the same thing. That indention is called the hilum. Okay? So we've got the seed coat, and then we have the endosperm, which is basically all the stuff inside here. It's very starchy, and it contains food for the embryo, and this is the reason that the seed can survive for so long. So this is called the endosperm. Okay, and then the actual embryo of the plant is going to come out a little bit from the micropyle, and it's going to look a little bit like that. So that is the embryo of the plant. Okay. So there's a seed coat, the endosperm, and the embryo. And a corn plant is the same way, but this looks more like a dicot, a eudicot, and a corn kernel would have the same parts, but it just wouldn't have 2 halves. So this this entire half is called the cotyledon. Okay, so the other half of the bean would be the other cotyledon. Okay, so next thing we want to do, I want to show you the flower I want you to dissect. Okay, try to do this. Get it to focus in. Find a lily. This is a lily. I'll give you some more different views of it. This is a lily. This is going around. Okay, that's your lily. This is a wild lily. It's the whole bouquet of mixed flowers here was only like $7 at Food Line. But I want you to dissect a lily, okay? I am going to dissect a strange flower. I'll be honest, I don't even know the name of it, but I'm doing it for a particular reason. I'm going to show you the leaf of this flower. This is actually a bundle of little flowers, and the parts of this flower are going to be hard to see, but what you're going to do is you're going to dissect that flower starting with the petals. But I want you to remember, for our flower, this is what the leaf looked like. So look at the veins. Are they branching or parallel? And parallel means they run straight up and down. Okay, so hopefully you know that the leaves on this plant have branching venation. Okay, now this is the little flower, but it's got a lot of little tiny flowers on it, and I want to pick one that's easy to see, so I'll pick this one. And I'm sorry they're so small. The type that I want to do for you, that I want to dissect for you, are not easy to find this time of year especially. But here's my little flower. We can see the petals, and when you go to dissect your flower, you can see down in the middle, that's going to be the pistil, and the stamens are down there in the middle, and they're really hard to see. But when we go to dissect our flower, the first thing we want to do is count the number of petals. And you can actually just take your fingers and pull the petals off, and then lay them down, take a picture of them. Or you can wait and take a picture after you've done the entire dissection. Oh man, I just broke all the parts off. But this flower had 4 petals, okay? Let me find another one and see if it's even going to be possible to get to the reproductive structures. All right, so I've got another one that has 4 petals. Okay, now my reproductive structures are here, and I'm not sure without something to help me see. I know this is blurry. I'm going to see if I can pull them apart so I can show you for this flower what they look like, but I don't think I can see this well. Okay, well, anyway, the first thing you're going to do is pull off your petals and count your petals. Take a picture of them and count them. And then I'll get a different flower. I was going to try to do, what you don't want to do, I hope you can hear me, what you do not want to do is one like this. This is some type of daisy. I can see a whole bunch of stamens in here. And I can see a whole bunch of petals. And it's really tough because it's hard to get a good count whenever you have so many. And some of the petals fall off, you know, that kind of thing. So you may not even get an accurate count. So I'm not going to be able to do one like this, and I wouldn't ask you to either. The one you're doing, I'll just show you. This one is a little wilted one. I don't want to mess up my pretty one. But this is going to be a leaf from the one you're doing, just so you can see the different, hold on. I'm going to do everything backwards. I don't know if you can see the vein pattern or not. Hold on. All right, Can you see that? They're running parallel. All the veins are kind of running up and down. All right, then we have the flower petals, and you're just going to pull those off, and that's